Shame was written across the foreheads of the husband and wife that sat across from me. 4 white walls, similar to these, and a wood desk in front of me. Uncertainty emerged in intervals through a barely noticeable wheezing coming from the spouses across from me. Shortness of breath, it's common with obesity. This couple recently married, but they weren't sitting across from me to start the bridal body transformation. Their doctor told me the marriage would be short-lived because one of them was going to have a heart attack if they didn't lose a substantial amount of weight. Fear can be a powerful motivator, but rarely is it a positive one. Queens, politicians, mid-level managers, they've been using it for eons to motivate all of their subordinates. However, it's widely accepted that being motivated by fear is only going to get the bare minimum done. You might keep your job, but you're going to go the extra mile. You're not going to go the extra mile and make groundbreaking progress. In the last 10 years or so, I have had countless clients similar to this couple be referred to me with these fear tactics. Your blood pressure is through the roof. Stop eating so much food or die young. If you don't lose some of this weight, this medication is a waste of your time. Type 2 diabetes is not a joke. Say goodbye to bread. Adios, carbohydrates. These negligent comments, they come with false assumptions, loaded with shame and embarrassment. The tactics are not effective and simply don't help the situation. There's plenty to unpack from these comments, but I want to focus on motivational fear not being the proper tool to use here. I know for a fact that most of these health practitioners mean well. They refer clients to me. Okay, I know them quite well. They mean well, at least most of them, right? So where's the disconnect? Logical reasons almost never work to motivate somebody. No matter how much sense a statement makes, it has very little power in motivating people to change. Our society agrees that smoking is bad for you and probably will kill you, but people still keep smoking cigarettes. In the book, Motivational Interviewing, Dr. Miller and Rollick state, when a helper uses a directing style and argues for change with a person who is ambivalent, it naturally brings out the other person's opposite arguments, right? So I'm a coach, right? If I'm coming at you in a directing style and arguing for change that makes logical sense, you're going to become defensive, right? So this explains why knowing smoking cigarettes could kill you isn't always enough to stimulate change. Logic or facts as motivation can send someone deeper into ambivalence, or even worse, they might adopt the opposite argument as true. That's always kind of scared me, that the research shows that. I've kind of seen it, in practice, but wow, it's kind of terrifying, right? So you're trying to help somebody, but then what happens? You actually push them the other way. Anybody that's raised a teenager, I'm sure, can speak to this, right? So this is where practitioners using motivational fear as a tactic falls way short. Good intentions and clear lab results, it's not enough to ensure change, right? So the lab results were bad, you're pre-diabetic, whatever it is, right? And it's just logically, yeah, okay, you should make some lifestyle changes, but it's not enough. It's not enough. So before we can have a better success rate with initiating change for ourselves, or if you're like me, clients, right? We need to understand the 6 stages of change. There's a great model that Dr. Carol J. Scott writes about in her book, Optimal Stress. This model, it was originally developed by a guy named James Prochaska, I believe, and Carlo Di Clemente, if I'm saying those right. It was in the late 70s when they were studying addiction. So since then, it has been expanded on by many professionals. There's all sorts of different books on this, but the idea is pretty much the same throughout, right? And I think it's very helpful if you're trying to change yourself, or if you're trying to coach and mentor friends, family, or it's you're a health professional and you're helping people change in that area. So, stage 1, pre-contemplation. This is when a person doesn't have to change in their mind yet, right? They may even defend the behavior or habit if hassled to change, right? So picture someone that is driving fast through a neighborhood and gets yelled at to slow down, but refuses to see the danger, okay? I've done that a couple times in my life. So the next stage after pre-contemplation is contemplation. Contemplation is when you're just beginning to acknowledge that there is a problem, but not entirely sure if you want to make a change yet. This is when the same person driving fast through the neighborhood notices a sign that says, "Slow down, children at play," and starts to think about slowing down. This stage opens the door to constructive education and input from others, okay? So now you're a little open and aware. After contemplation, stage 3 is preparation or determination. This stage is when the fast driver remembers to slow down, sometimes, but not all the time. Preparation is when our behavior is off and on. There is an active seeking of information to change, right? So now you're actively seeking the information to make the changes necessary. Stage 4, action and willpower, okay? In the action stage, you have consistently changed your behavior for less than 6 months. The fast driver has been driving slowly, more frequently, and even asks for reminders from friends and family to help commit to the habit. Or let's change the example, right? And what about going to the gym? You've been going to the gym, right, for less than 6 months, and you're starting to go more regularly. You ask maybe a workout buddy to come with you, right? Friends and family are saying, "Hey, good job. You've been going to the gym. I see you're starting to lose weight," or whatever it is, right? Now, stage 5, this is the maintenance phase. Huge phase in my professional opinion. This is a huge one that gets glossed over, right? So maintenance, stage 5, maintenance means maintaining the behavioral change and not falling into temptation of old habits. Our fast driver is running late to work and doesn't let the temptation to put the pedal to the metal, baby, right? This stage is proven when the new behavior sticks for more than 6 months. Okay, don't get tied up in the time frames. Like I said, you could talk to any different scientist. They might give you a different time frame, okay? But generally speaking, we're talking about more than just a couple weeks, right? People in this stage, they've developed skills to anticipate situations where they might relapse and coping strategies preceding the temptation. Big, big, big one right there. I'm gonna say it again. This is when people in this stage have developed skills to anticipate situations where they might relapse, anticipating the downside, all right? Now, stage 6 is relapse. So Dr. Scott in her book says, remember if it's normal and natural to regress, to attain one stage, only to fall back to a previous stage, okay? Totally normal and natural to regress. This is crucial to understand, right? This final stage. Relapse is not the goal, but it can be a normal aspect of behavioral change. Many things might trigger a relapse of judgment for our fast driver, but analyzing why a relapse occurred is the most useful strategy to create change next time. Now that we know how change occurs, we can be more sensitive to ourselves or someone else making a change, okay? So if a health practitioner is notifying a patient for the first time about something, defensive behavior is going to be expected, right? That's normal. It's part of change. Instead of forcing the facts down the throat, right, we can work around someone's readiness for change, okay? A person that motivates, lost the light, by fear doesn't empower or help others, okay? So remember that. That's the big reason I wanted to make this video, to help you change or help others change, right? Fear is not going to be the one that does it. Change is intimidating, okay? But by using the 6 stages that we just talked about, go back, check them out, we can create a new realm of possibility, which I think is a beautiful place to live in your life, just in general, in your brain. The realm of possibility. All things are possible, right? One of the most important things you can do to develop new behaviors, though, is to understand your readiness for change, okay? It is crucial to understanding how willing you are to adopt some new practices as slowly or as quickly as feels right. If you want to find out how ready for change you are, I want you to drop a comment in below and say ready, okay? And then I will comment back, and I'm going to send you a link to a little questionnaire I like using with some of my clients that helps you decide where you're at in the readiness for change, okay? And I want you to think about this quote from Octavia Butler. First, forget inspiration. Habit is more dependable. Habit will sustain you whether you're inspired or not. Habit is persistence in practice. Thank you for watching this. As always, have a beautiful, fantastic day. Use this today. Lift life.